Okay, this is now the 5-minute tarot for the 17th of April 2017. And yesterday I talked about a couple of cards together in combination, individually and in combination. And I'd kind of like to do that today. So what I did was I shuffled for a bit and then I picked a card and then I picked a second card. And the idea is that, let's say somebody says, you're partway through the reading of the conversation and somebody says, okay, what's the solution? What do I do? Or what should I do? Or something like that. And what you do is, instead of picking one card, which you can do, you pick two to get an idea or maybe a more complete answer, or not quite sure what, but we'll see what happens with this one, and then I'll probably do the same again tomorrow. And then as we look at two, and maybe later we'll pick three cards and do the three together, not as past, present, and future, not as a yes, no, but just the three together, what kind of story they tell, or the strengths and weaknesses that are reinforced, let's say, by two or three cards that are similar. So let's say the question is, what's the solution? What do I do? And we're going to pick a couple of cards. And the thing is, what we get from today's exercise, it's going to be the Page of Batons reversed and the World upright are the two cards that I chose. And this would be the solution for the question right now. We're not saying that the information we come up with, or what the points that we make based on the Page of Batons reversed and the World, represent in some way a general solution, or that what we come up with for these two cards is some kind of general rule that you can always depend on. That's not what's going on here. And this is, I think, is the beauty of the tarot, in that it deals with what's relevant for the questioner at that time, even if the answer would be different later this afternoon or tomorrow, or sometime after the question has been asked. So we're looking at, and we're sort of in the moment with the tarot. So we want to know what's the solution, and we turn a couple of cards and we get the Page of Wands reversed and the World. So what we would actually say for the solution will depend to some extent on the question. But if we forget the question for the moment and just look at what do we do with the Page of Batons reversed and the World. So the Page of Batons being reversed, maybe it's saying don't be like the Page of Batons in some way, and instead be like the World, whatever that might mean. So with the Page reversed, maybe the solution is don't act like a child, because pages are young people, and I'm not insulting anybody by saying the child or the young person, but it can be that with the Page of Batons reversed, if you act inexperienced and childlike, it's going to come across as childish. And so don't depend, with the Page of Batons reversed, the solution is don't depend on your cuteness, because children are cute. Don't depend on your cuteness to get you by or to get you through the solution. There can be other times in life when being cute worked and people didn't. People cooperated with you, or they didn't expect you to do what you maybe should have done, or what was normal, let's say. But because you acted like a child, or because you acted cute and innocent and so on, people let you away with it. That's not going to work this time. So don't act like a child. Don't expect that being cute, keep saying cute, but don't expect that being cute is going to bring you the success that maybe it did before. But instead, we've got the World upright. Work from the World, or work using the World. So use your experience and knowledge rather than your naive point of view, because the World is I mean, it's the World. So like, you've been involved with the World and with circumstances, with events. You maybe have a worldly point of view, so you want to achieve, you want people to take you seriously, and so on. So with the contrast between the Page of Batons reversed and the World is that ideally you build on the success you've had, or build on the skills and abilities that you've developed, or build on what you know has brought results in the past, because it's the world and it's a card of success, and it's going to bring you success again. That's taking each card individually and saying, don't be like the page, be like the world, and then translating those titles, the names, into a certain type of behavior for the benefit of the questioner. But maybe if we try to put the two together, we've got the page is reversed, and the world can be setting high goals and having great success. So because the page is reversed, maybe it's telling you, or telling the questioner, don't overextend, right? You've got the page reversed, but you've also got the world. Or don't be overly optimistic, because that can be the page has big ideas, but they're too big. Or the page of batons could be optimistic, but it's reversed, so it's like overly optimistic. Or they have ideas that are way too big. Big ideas are fine, but if the step that you want to take is too big, you're going to be discouraged. Where small steps will get you, or will bring you success, or would have brought you success. So we've got the page of batons reversed and the world. And we have basic ideas for both of them. And you put them together, and so you can be overly optimistic. So instead of a giant leap, which can be what's represented by the world, to this phenomenal success, that's not going to work. Instead, plan out a logical progression and follow it, rather than depend on luck or I was going to say boyish good looks or girlish beauty, whatever, to bring you success. Okay, that's it for the moment. So tomorrow, I'll pick another couple of cards tomorrow and see what you do. But I left out a lot. I'm trying to keep this short. So if you have ideas or comments, put them in the comments down below, and maybe we'll see what you come up with for that combination of cards. So again, it can be each card individually, but it's more to begin to, how do we put the two together? To get a composite. It's a bit like if you get flour and water, and I can't think what else, and you mix it together, you get dough, which you can then cook and it turns into bread, let's say. So in the same way, you get 2 or 3 different individual cards, but what happens when you mix them together? What do the ingredients produce? So you get a composite answer, or a composite behavior or activity that you get from blending and combining the individual cards. Okay, I'm rambling. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.